morning, it's day 37. Sometimes people ask me how long it takes for me to get from one point to the other. I say, well, sometimes it depends on stuff like this. I'm on my route, but I've run out of road. I can't get back on the I-10 because there's no shoulder for me to ride on. So I might have to take a pretty long detour. Yeah. We're gonna have to take a detour. So I need to reroute because of this. There's no way to get around it. This only goes on for 2 miles, but there's nowhere to ride. There's no shoulder, and you know it's a highway, so traffic's going pretty fast. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that highway north, and it's gonna it's gonna add about 30 miles to my route. I was hoping to get to a place called Jennings, but it looks like we're gonna have to find a place in Lake Charles, but we'll see how the day goes. So cool. Enjoying the view, not enjoying the rain. But they said there were gonna be scattered showers, and I think that if they're scattered and it's still early, I can get dry as I go along. The humidity is so high though that if you like wash something, it takes forever to dry, or it doesn't dry at all, it just stays damp. I hope this is not a dirt road all the way, because this will turn into mud. And I am on a road bike with road tires ish. Last time I did something like this, I ate it pretty hard. I got pretty dirty. So, this is Google Maps again. Thank you. Cool. So I've reached Louisiana, courtesy of 2 dogs that chased me right across the border. The bad thing is that when they were chasing me, I went on this bridge and they almost got hit. So in my opinion, that's really irresponsible owners, because their dogs could have gotten killed if they would have gotten run over. I don't understand what this is. It's people just, maybe they don't care about their animals. You know, I mean, I don't like getting chased, but they're dogs. They're gonna do what dogs are supposed to do, you know? And if you don't keep them inside a fence, or if you don't, oh, isn't this pretty cool? It says no diving. They can get hit, because like I said, it was 2 dogs, medium size, and they there was a very small area, and I crossed this bridge, so the dogs had to get on the bridge to chase me, but they couldn't keep up, and they almost got hit by a car. So yeah, that's just really irresponsible dog ownership. I think it's pretty cool that I'm fishing in the bayous. And it's like these forests that are in the water. So the water's shallow enough for trees to come out of it, but you can't really, you know, walk through too much of it. It's all muddy and stuff. It's all watery. but I'm sure there's some pretty fantastic fishing around here. Look at this, isn't this amazing? Like, not long ago I was in the desert and I didn't see any of this. It was like miles and miles in every direction of nothing but brown and dry heat, and which I appreciate the dry heat, because here it is. Whoo, it's like you get up in the morning and it's muggy. But then you see why, you know? And I'm sure that sooner or later I'm gonna see some alligators. If you see the camera angled a little slightly, it's because I am looking towards my right, and so I can't like turn my head. I'm not an owl, so I can't turn it to like a perfect 90-degree angle. But I'm getting hit by bugs like crazy, and the land's flat, so I'm fighting a little bit of a headwind, but not too much. But it just makes it so much easier. The other thing is that I guess that if you're a builder, you're never going to run out of work out here, because they've just been constantly working on all the roads. And so my goal was to get to a place called Jennings, that's east of Lake Charles, and camp there for the night. But as you saw earlier, I got to this one segment. I circled that bridge twice and I couldn't find a way to get to the other side. I ended up getting to a point where there was like the shoulder was gone, it was just lane, and I can't get on there because, you know, a truck that's hauling 40,000 pounds at 80 miles an hour can't exactly slow down or stop on a dime, you know. I don't know what to get hit. So I'm taking this other road, which took me north about 10 miles to this other highway, till I finally got to Highway 12. And then eventually this will lead to Lake Charles. But so it basically added about 30 miles to my commute. So I'm thinking I might end up in Lake Charles. So, which is not bad because it's one of the more famous Louisiana cities, you know, and there might be cool historical stuff to see there. We'll see. Now a little bit of historical trivia about the state of Louisiana. Most people know that it's so named because it was once owned by the French government. So the French government had this piece of land when they were in the Americas and in Canada, up in, you know, like the Quebec region, Montreal and whatnot, but down here also. So that's like big cities like New Orleans are named after Orleans in France. And it was sold to the US government by the French. Now, of course, they didn't tell the people that were actually from here that, the native peoples. And they were unfortunately taken out from here and, you know, displaced. But some of the things that were created then, like part of their commercial code in Louisiana is a bit different than the rest of the US because it's still based on the old French commercial code. So people who do business in this area have to deal with regulations or freedoms that they don't, it can be both hindrance or promotion, that they don't in other states in the US. I do know that it's one of the states that does not have an economy as big as many of the other states, probably because it's a smaller state and the resources here are different, population's a lot smaller, and I don't know how much the weather plays into it. But look, if you're a builder, I don't think you're gonna run out of work. So, all right. And I'm looking forward to see a lot of the birds in the area. So they have like a lot of herons and birds you don't see anywhere else. But I think that it's the rest of the trip is probably going to look a lot like this, because I'm hugging the Gulf Coast. So I'm only about 30-40 miles north of the Gulf of Mexico. And so this ecosystem, I think, stretches all the way to Florida. And then once I get to Florida and I turn south, I think it's just more of this. But a good thing is that it's at sea level, so I don't have like these, I'm not anticipating at least, you know, these 2,000 foot climbs and so on. This is pretty cool, and I'm sure that there's a story about this highway, because this highway's elevated and it goes right through the middle of the bayou. So they had to lay this down, they had to put dirt down, and somebody had to figure this out. Yeah. All right, cool. So I have no connection out here. My map stopped working, and I didn't know how far I was from this highway. And so I stopped by a sheriff's office, and the deputy was pretty cool. He's like, yeah, he's like, you're like 30 miles away from the I-10. I was like, what? I was like, that's okay. He's like, it's kind of far. So, and it was just like down the street from this highway, 109. So this is 109 south. I guess I'll be on here for about 30 miles until I get to I-10, which will then put me back on the way to Lake Charles. My biggest concern is that I'll get back on the I-10 and there will be yet again more road work, because it's like the road work, the heavy road work on the I-10 started when I was, about 20-25 miles from Houston, and then it just didn't stop. And I'm nowhere near Houston, so then I crossed state lines, and I was like, well, hopefully, maybe, you know, once I get to Louisiana, maybe there won't be as much road work. But as you guys saw, there's still a lot, and the road work isn't that big a deal because you can kind of find ways around it. But when you get to the bridges, that's where it's a big deal, because crossing that bridge without and it's not like this, you know, cars have a lot of area to work with, they'll go around you and stuff, but on a bridge they can't really do that, and they can't see you. Like, let's say you're on the other side, on the downside of the bridge, the car going up that bridge, they're not gonna know that I'm on the other side. And if that happens, I'm like, okay, great, I'm gonna get the I-10, I'm gonna have to go all the way around again. So this might be a bit of a journey, depending on the road work. That's like why people ask me, it's like, well, how far do you get a day? It's like, well, it depends, you know, conditions of the road, like today, or on like weather. For example, I got rained on a little bit earlier. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the city of Sparks, Louisiana. It's beautiful. There's all these trees, and I can hear all the animals, I can hear all the birds. Yeah, so okay, we'll see what the I-10 looks like once we get there in about 30 miles. So I'm back on the highway, and it turned out to be about a 40-mile detour. It's got a long way. So I'm headed to Lake Charles. It is really, really humid, hot. I'm soaked. I don't think I've been dry. Like, I haven't felt like actually dry, like non-sticky none for a while. To be honest, I feel really tired. My body feels fatigued. I don't think I'm bonking. Bonking is when your body can't convert the fuel fast enough. But I just feel, yeah, I don't think I've taken a day off since San Antonio. Except when I went to NASA, but we still did some cycling that day. And forecast says it's gonna rain tonight. Possibly tomorrow, or more likely tomorrow than tonight, but it'll start tonight. Yeah, so the distance to me on days like this feels like feels very, very long. I've been on the bike now for about 6 hours, and I'm feeling it. Because it doesn't just take a toll on you, and I'm also fighting wind. I don't know if you guys can see the wind. But when I feel like this, I start to feel not good. I was listening to this study, and this pastor was saying that you feel hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, and you need to halt. That's the acronym, right? Hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. You need to halt. Kind of hungry. Not really angry. Maybe a little lonely. But definitely tired. So, I think that from what I've learned, and what I've seen from other people and heard from other motivational speakers is that it's so loud. Progress isn't made when things are easy. It's made when it's hard, like this. That the real strength and discipline doesn't get strengthened until you feel like this. David Goggins calls it the 40% rule. And Arnold Schwarzenegger used to quote Muhammad Ali. They would ask Muhammad Ali, how many sit-ups do you do? And his answer is like, I don't know. I don't start to count until I feel it burn. And for most people, that's the point when we quit. When it starts to burn. When we start to feel hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. That's when we start to quit. That's when we say, all right, I'm done for the day. My workout is done for the day. What we don't realize is that's where the growth occurs. So right now, that's how I feel. It's funny because I'm speaking about it, right? Right now, that's how I feel. But I also know that if I avoid this, if I quit now, then my personal growth isn't going to happen. And let me explain that. So the trip across America, it's not just, you know, for the Triumph Foundation. It's not just for my personal experience, but it requires a great deal of determination, discipline, dedication, and hard work. And what that does for me is that after the ride is over, there's a lot of things I need to do. Right? I need to go back to work. I need to get back to the gym. I need to reconnect with family and friends. I need to build my company, which is already registered. The Pacific Moon Company. That's one of the things I did before I left. And what I'm hoping is that as a result of this experience, of me saying I'm going to keep my promise to myself, to the community, to the Moon Lady, and if I can do those things, then when it gets really hard for me, whether it's in my company or family, friends, whatever it may be, relationships, then I'll look back along this and say, hey, I was able to cycle through wind, rain, cold, mud, dogs, you name it, right? Traffic, dirt, tremendous discomfort. But I was able to do that. And if I can do that, then everything else could be easy. I'm not saying it will be easy. I'm saying it could be. Why? Because I am determined to finish. I'm determined to finish. And man, the siren is calling me saying, hey, go home. Go back to Southern California where the weather's nice and dry. People will congratulate you for getting this far. Yada, 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 right? And I can't listen to that because, man, right now those things sound good. You know? And if I can do this here, then maybe that has much, much bigger ramifications for the rest of my life. Maybe, yeah, hey, look at that, people on the bikes. Cool. Should come back and give me a ride. Never mind. So, that is some clear mud. So, as I was saying, is that if I can finish this, then what else is out there that I can finish? What else is out there that I can achieve? What else is out there that I can complete? And there are a lot of people right now who can't do this. But there are other things that they need to complete for themselves, right? Maybe their obstacle, their goal isn't a 3,000-mile journey on a bike. Maybe their goal is just to be able to transfer from the chair to the car. Or to be able to stand. Or to be able to memorize those terms, to get that certificate or that diploma or that degree that's going to get them a position that's going to change their life for the better, right? So I've got about, I'm getting closer, I got about 16 miles to go. The good thing is that it's flat, thank God. All right, might see an hotel again. I want to get caught in the rain. And it rained last night. I got rained on earlier today. And I thought I would dry out by now. But apparently it's so humid that I'm still wet. Which sucks. So, all right, I'll let you know at the end of the ride. And I got a flat tire. I got a thumbtack in my rear tire. All right, well, it happens when you cycle. Alright, what are you going to do? We're going to replace this tire and we're going to be on our way again. Look at that bad boy. That's what got it flat. That's it sideways. You know, it must be me. Because I replaced the tube. Man, that was hard because it seems like the tires are almost undersized. And when I inflated it, it would inflate okay, and then all the air came out. And then I inflated it again, tightened the valve core, and all the air came out. So I'm gonna go to this gas station and do what I did last time. Use a gas station pump with the valve adapter to inflate it. And I gotta figure out what's going on with this pump because this is supposed to be a quality pump. I got it at a bike shop. Well, then again, that's the same bike shop that gave me a tire that's almost impossible to put on. and that also said, hey, let me adjust your rear derailleur, and actually messed it up. Said I had to get it readjusted at the bike barn. The bike barn was very good. The other place, I don't know. All right, so we'll see. All right, so this is what's going on. It's a day full of challenges, yeah. I don't think I got one flat tire. I think I got 2 flat tires. I replaced the tube, then I would inflate it, and then the tube would quickly deflate, and it's not the valve core, it's not the pump. So I might have punctured the second tire when I was putting it in. I don't know what's going on with that the tire. It was like super tight to get in. I couldn't get it in. So I'm actually pretty close to a pretty big city, Lake Charles, and I'm in a neighboring city called Sulphur. So what I'm gonna do is, one of the guys from around here, he was very cool. He came up to me, he's like, hey man, you okay? So he pointed me in this direction. So I asked them if there's a cheap hotel nearby, because sometimes they don't pop up on Google Maps, but they're there, and you said, yeah, there's a Red Roof Inn. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down there. Well, yeah, I said I was tired and I was having a long day, right? Well, this kind of does it. And then I'm gonna work on the bike, and then I'm gonna try to, and then I had a part that was it's like a valve adapter for these kinds of valves, so that you could do it like at a regular gas station. I don't have it. So I'm gonna go to the hotel, I'm gonna patch both tires, figure out what's wrong with them, get them fixed, and if they're good to go, then I'll just tomorrow I'll take off. So we'll see, we'll go from there. But oh man, Louisiana is not giving me a great welcome so far. I've been chased by dogs. Google Maps failed, so I had to put in an extra 40 miles. And then I get this thing where I'm like, why is this taking so long? I get tired, and then I get a flat, and then it took forever to fix that flat because then I couldn't get the tire. Oh man, it's one of those days, man. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna check into this hotel and then reorganize, adapt, overcome everything that we need to do. All right, cool. So I can't get it out of my head. It's that song from Tiny Tim. You know, there's that horror movie Insidious where the demon is like, oh cool, thanks. There's that guy that was, I think it was earlier. Hey, thanks man. All right, we're gonna go place it here. It's like somebody's truck. Somebody understands my plight. Hey everybody, so I had, man, the good fortune of Reno, who I was telling you about earlier.
Hey, how's it going?
He's giving me a warm welcome to Louisiana after the kind of day I've had. So I just want to thank him so much. Reno, is there anything that is like a website or a link or anything you want to put on there?
No, I'm not on social media, but I'll be safe, have fun.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, there it is, folks. All right, cool.